Hi everyone, this is Panos. I'm the co-founder and CEO of LearnWorlds. I'm extremely happy to see you here. I'm very proud of this webinar that we have presented. Today we're going to discuss about some of our most awaited features, and our purpose is to show you how you can grow and diversify your knowledge-based business, your academy, your online school, so that you can serve multiple audiences. The use cases that we're going to present here have come from our best customers and the biggest customers who were able to start with one school or a couple of schools and managed to grow their businesses. They diversified and they were able to handle multiple customers in multiple countries. I'm sure that you will get some nice ideas about how you can also grow your business and take advantage of the boom that is happening in the knowledge-based economy around online courses and much more. So if we can go to the next slide. Our purpose here in LearnWorlds and our obsession is to get better every single day. Our entire team is focused and committed to bringing every day in a rapid pace advancement to the platform, ensuring 360 support for our customers. We know how difficult it is to build and run an online course business, a training business. This is why we try our best. We learn from our customers and we share all this knowledge through the platform and through all the content that we are producing every day, and also building and releasing innovative features that revolutionize today how we learn online and how you train your audiences online. Our purpose here is to become the most successful learning blog for your business. We want to become your e-learning tech stack. We want to be able to cover diverse and powerful learning solutions and business models around online courses. So we want to complement your training business and to become your partner in this e-learning journey. I'm very happy for this webinar because we've managed to create a massive release with highly requested features. So we have a set of releases that is coming before the year, and we know that these things have come based on the needs of some of our most successful schools. So we want to be able to release these features to you and help you become also equally successful and scale your business as fast and as far and as wide as possible. So this is what we are here for. So if we can go to the next slide, allow me to introduce my esteemed guest speakers. We have Elisa from our learning designer expert, our customer training team, and also we have Brett Hamilton from our customer success team. These are the usual culprits, the biggest power users of the LearnWorlds platform, who are always very happy to come and share their expertise with you and the things that they've been learning around the LearnWorlds platform. So if we can go to the next slide, I'll start cutting directly to the chase and discussing about multiple schools. This is what this feature is about. Why on earth would somebody need to create multiple schools if you already have one? So this is something that initially we hadn't thought of, but increasingly, some of our most successful customers were coming to us and asking us to clone some of their schools to create exact copies so that they could diversify and they could adapt their content to a new customer, to a new audience, perhaps to a new country, perhaps to a new use case scenario. So instead of trying to cover everything with one school, which is not possible, the closest solution that they would come up with is to create a copy and try to adapt it from the design to the content to the usage to the settings or anything else that they might need in order to cover a new page, a new use case. So this is something that initially we were trying to solve using unscalable solutions by doing lots of manual work, and obviously that was time consuming and also very annoying. But now we are extremely proud to have been able to productize this and to be able to create with a click, of a couple of buttons, to be able to create an entire clone, an entire copy of a LearnWorlds school. So now everybody from within their LearnWorlds account, they can create and manage multiple LearnWorlds schools. So under the same account, the same user email that the same account that you have created with your email address, you can go, you can check, you can create multiple schools, you can manage all these different schools under a single dashboard, and most importantly, you can also manage and sync course content between multiple schools. So that was one of the biggest problems that our customers had. Once they were creating their content, it was impossible to keep maintaining this content and updating this content. They had to go in multiple schools and redo the same kind of job. What our multiple school is solving is the ability for you to get multiple tenants, effectively multiple copies of your existing school, clone or sync the content between that, maintain that synchronicity, that syncing between different content and different courses and different schools, and obviously be extremely flexible in how you grow your business. So whether we're talking about a big organization that has different chapters or different branches or different departments, and you just need to create separate versions of your original online school, whether we're talking about a business that is offering B2B training and has multiple customers, again, now you can create different tenants, different copies for each one of your customers. You can adapt the kind of content that they have access to. You can even adapt the entire branding of each school. So instead of relying on a generic, let's say, online school, now you can create a full product that is tailored around a customer, on the design, on the content, on the settings, on the security, on the statistics, analytics, on anything you need. Or even if we're talking about the training business that want to diversify and start selling courses in a different country, in a different language, in a different currency, all the scenarios that you can think of. We're talking about immense scalability, taking all those time-consuming processes and error-prone processes and things that you had to do manually that were probably unscalable and unmaintainable, and giving you the possibility to do that automatically just by cloning everything within your school and keeping syncing, setting up the syncing, and being certain that you only have to maintain one version of the course, and then everything gets populated automatically with whatever you do. So the potential for scalability and for maintenance and the streamlining of everything that you do is absolutely immense. So if we can go to the next slide, here are the things that I just mentioned, just to put them in I guess in a nice little slide. What are the cases? Why would you need to diversify your course offering with multiple schools? And here are some amazing use cases for you that you can start thinking about. Perhaps you were reluctant to test it. You were thinking about all the complexities and how I can do that, and like how I will be able to maintain. This is something that we now solve. You can go global. So you can create multiple schools to reach new audiences in different languages, different currencies, different tax settings, even to cover different regional needs. And obviously here, you can also have the power of AI next to you to help you do all these translations, or the, let's say, the customization and the localization to each different case. We're talking about being able to reach different B2B customers by massively specializing your courses and personalizing your courses. So you can start with a master school, you can clone it, and then you can edit each individual brand with the colors of your customers, the logos of your customers. So your customer knows that this is the Coca-Cola Academy, this is the Pepsi Academy, this is the Toyota Academy, because you can take the single course and then use all the immense branding capabilities of LearnWorlds to create truly individual specialized use for your courses. We're talking about maximizing revenue by using different pricing structures and combinations and revenue models. You can have a subscription school, and the membership school, and the school where you are selling just courses one by one, or a school that is reserved for a B2B customers. So you can have combinations of all of this. And in fact, some of our customers are using combinations of, let's say, a single school where they can cover their smaller customers who are just buying 5 seats or 10 seats of a particular course, but also be able very easily to spin out and create a separate school for a large customer that comes to you and wants to train 1,000 employees. So this customer requires the attention, the focus, the security, the scalability, and the streamlining that a separate school instance and separate tenant can provide to you. We're talking also about improving operations. Imagine we have some customers that are running with multiple hundreds of thousands of users. So if you want to ensure optimal usage, in some cases security as well, you have to consider in some cases the creation of a separate school. And also when being data driven, being able to identify the usage of your school and report on the usage of your school in the analytics, it makes sense to keep different kinds of users separately in different schools. And in some cases, we also have users who are, with the same content, they're launching multiple brands. So you could have even different websites, different domains based on the market or anything else. So you can see here that we have several axes where you can go in and specialize your course, and several reasons, business reasons, why it makes sense for you to do that and start scaling. So here we're talking about the reasons why you need to do that, and it's extremely easy. We will see now through Elisa and Brett how easy it is to create multiple tenants and create multiple schools, as I mentioned, and we'll see that right away. Just with a couple of clicks, you can launch a new school. You can replicate your courses. This is no manual intervention is needed, no contact with support or anything else. You can just orchestrate that through your own dashboard. You can selectively import courses to these new schools. You might start with a master school that has 100 courses, but you only need 10 courses to be copied for that particular instance, for that particular country or customer or anything else. And this is something that is one of the most difficult problems to solve in computer science, and we're extremely proud of our solution here, the possibility to synchronize your content, to make sure that there's a master version, that you can go to that master version and update it. You can upload a new video, you can add some new content, you can edit one of the assignments, and make sure that all the copies in all the different schools will be synced with that master. So this is the option of giving everything in sync with a master library of courses, of sections, of learning activities that you can edit, but also the flexibility to go in each individual instance and override something that you want to do, or add something special that one customer wants to do. So this is I cannot overestimate how much flexibility this gives to customers. I'm extremely relieved that we are able to offer that to our biggest customers and to our fastest growing customers. And I hope you will also see how you can make use of these powerful features to grow your business. So we can go right away to Elisa to start seeing some real life examples, how this is used within the LearnWorlds platform.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Panos. So right now, me and Brad, we're going to show you a series of some use case scenarios on how you can do all of that. So first of all, go global. Do you want to go global? Who wouldn't, right? Expand your school across continents and perhaps reach new audiences. So let's take a look at some of these use case scenarios. First up, we have, sorry, give me a second over here, serve students from different locations at scale. So perhaps you got students across different continents, and maybe you want to have different schools with different languages and different currencies, right? So perhaps you have your main school, your main academy in English, but you want to create another version of it, perhaps for Italian users, right? Or maybe, I don't know, a different country, right? So for that, you would need perhaps a clone of that school, but with some different variables such as the language or the currency, right? Let me go over to my next slide over here. So how would you do that? Now, to create a new school, you would have to go into manage your schools. I'm going to show you in a little bit where you can do that from your dashboard. So you would have to go over there and you could either create your school from scratch, create a new one, or you can make a clone. You can make a copy of your actual main school. And then for each school, for each clone that you will make, you can set the respective language or the currency or any settings that you want to form it where you want it to be. So let me show you just how you can do it from the LearnWorlds platform. So just bear with me over here. I'm just gonna share that so you can see it. All right, so from here right now, this is your LearnWorlds dashboard, right? So where can you find that? So from here, in order to manage all of your schools, you need to go over here into these three dots and just simply click on Manage Schools. That is going to take you right here. And this is where you can start building new schools. You can either create a brand new one from here, or of course, you can also clone a school, right? So let's say that this is your main school that you're working with. You can simply click to clone school over here. Then you're going to find this little wizard over here. So go through with it, give your new school a domain. You can select what courses will participate and take a look at the data that is also going to be cloned, right? If you don't want any of these to be included, just exclude it. And yeah, go through this list and you can easily clone a school from here and you can create multiple copies if you wish, and then go into the respective clone that you created, you know, make your tweaks, your changes, either in content, in courses, in languages, in currency, and yeah, and then make it according to that audience for that audience, for that country, no matter what that school is going to be for. Let me move over with the rest of the presentation. All right, so next up, we have the other case over here. Hold on, let me just show it over here. So right here, tap into the market, into new market and new audiences. So now, if your school is growing even more, then your users are expanding as well, right? So what does that mean? In that case, you may want to, again, create different schools based on your learners' needs or based on local educational standards or regulations, maybe legal things, and you know they have to go by. So how do we do that? Right here. So in this case, again, you could go ahead and go in where I just showed you and either clone your initial school and then customize the website, the pages, the content, the training program, the currency again, or any legal regulations to serve the new market that you're entering. So as you can see right here, we have two different schools, and you can see that from the domain over at the top, and you can see that it's the homepage for both, but right here I have an English version, and for instance over here I have what I think is a Spanish version, right? So just one case of how you would do that. Let me move over to a next case. So next up, we have conquering B2B market. So not only selling to simple clients, but also to businesses, right? So this is the next section. Let me jump straight into the use case. So cater to the needs of various business clients this time. Okay, in this case, we are targeting B2B clients, meaning that for each one of your clients, you may want to offer a completely different and branded academy that reflects their brand, right? Not your brand, but the business is your client's brand. So typically, as you can imagine, this would take up time, right? It's a timely process, but instead of creating the content for every client from scratch, what you can do is that you can sync it automatically and it will appear in all schools at once. So let me move over to the next slide and show you how you can do that. So after cloning the school, then you can synchronize the content among your schools. And that can be done in real time. So you can do that from here. For instance, if you clone a school and you choose to clone some courses as well, you can see that you can also have them synchronize. So if you make a little change on the initial course, that will synchronize with the other schools that you have it as well. Besides that, you can, of course, also import courses from other schools as an item. And let me show you how you can do that, because it's actually quite impressive. So just give me a second over here while I do that. All right, so what you need to do in this case to import a course is just simply go over into your academy, right into the courses and where it says the course manager. And from here, what you need to do is just click on the import button right here. So that's going to open up this menu over here, and you can import your courses from here. Give it a second to load it up. And yeah, let's say that perhaps I want to import a course from my school, which is this one right here. Just select that and decide whether or not you want to sync the course. Just make sure you enable it over here as well. You can even sync the courses page as well. And yeah, that's going to do exactly that. So you have one school, but perhaps, you know, you have a specific course you want to include, you can import, you can do that from here, and you can also have that synced as well. All right, going back into the presentation over here. All right, so let me move over to the next slide right here. So next up is my colleague Brett. So Brett, you can.
Yep, can you hear me okay?
Go ahead with
Excellent.
maximizing the revenue.
I unfortunately don't have all the great live demo stuff that Eliza was showing today, but I will be taking you through a bunch of different examples that similar to what she's done. So we've seen a couple different examples of how this feature can help us kind of target new audiences and cater to the diverse needs of B2B customers. But I'm sure a lot of you are asking, you know, how can we use this feature to maximize our revenue? So one way we can do this is, sorry, go ahead and move to the next slide, Eliza. So one way we can do this to actually help maximize our revenue is by offering different price models to B2B and B2C customers. However, this kind of presents us with a challenge now, right? How do we differentiate our revenue streams, and how do we offer separate business models and push separate messaging and marketing campaigns if everything's on a single platform? Well, that really leads to this great innovation by LearnWorlds. We can now overstep those challenges and deploy 2 separate schools that cater to each audience and help us repurpose the content by importing or syncing them between the two. Eliza, you can move to the next one just for some screenshots here. Now, as Lisa had mentioned, we do have the school dashboard where you can create some new trials. So in this particular example, we would be creating 2 different schools. So you just create a new school in our dashboard. We would customize the domain of that new school. So we would have our B2B and our B2C customers. And then we tailor each school's name and design to that specific user or specific customer. We can also take the course manager in school A and start to select the courses that we want to import into our second school. So there's definitely going to be courses in our B2B offering that we're going to want to sell to our individual customers as well, right? So we can actually clone those over, or we can sync those over, similar to what Eliza had shown. So you're actually able to take that content, place it in both schools, and clone that material or sync that material between the 2 schools. Next slide, Eliza. Some schools have a dual focus and either could be generating revenue through profit-driven initiatives while also contributing to social impact through nonprofit endeavors. This can present a little bit of a challenge as well, for pricing for nonprofit schools is generally much different from what you would see in a revenue-driven school. So by deploying 2 separate schools, it actually allows us to offer 2 different pricing models to better match the needs of each audience. Okay, you can go ahead to the next one as well. Similar to what we talked about in our last example, we're going to be creating 2 separate schools here. So you can see we're going to our dashboard, we'll create 2 separate schools, and we're going to customize the domain for the nonprofit organization that we're going to be moving along with our revenue design school. We're also going to tailor that school's name and design it to each specific client. So our nonprofit clients versus our profit clients. We'll also reach out to our support team at LearnWorlds because we do offer some really great nonprofit organization and benefits and discounts. So if you are a nonprofit organization, I highly recommend reaching out to our support team so that we can get that set up for you. And then lastly, we're going to manage both the profit and the nonprofit clients all from a single place in our school dashboard. So we'll actually be able to go into each of those different schools, manage them all from a single dashboard. Next slide. Aliza, I think it's on to you.
Yes, this is still me. Thank you. All right, so scale operations. Now, when your school starts to scale exponentially, you will need to also adapt your admin work that you need to do. What does that mean? Let me head over to the next slide. So you will need to efficiently recreate school pages across multiple schools. Now, as you can imagine, while the school grows, this is also a task that is mundane and it takes time. So while you're growing and scaling, there are pages that will need to be added perhaps to all schools. Such pages could be the About Us page, the Terms and Conditions, a contact page, and so on, right? Each school needs to have these and you will have to add them. So how do you do it in an effective way that, you know, it saves some time? So how can you do it? By importing a page. So the LearnWorlds platform allows you to import pages from various schools. So you may have different pages, different schools. So let's say that you have your main school and you actually created that once. There is a way for you to go over to any other cloned schools or any other schools that you have and just simply import those pages instead of doing it from scratch for each one of those. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. So let me just share that and show you right away. All right, so hopefully you can see my screen. So I am right here into the site builder. So from your dashboard, if you navigate over to the site builder, you'll find this option where it says manage pages. So from here, you can see all the pages in your academy, and you'll find this option where it says import pages, and that's what I'm gonna click on. So right here, it allows you to select what school are you cloning the pages from. Let's say that I'm going to go for this, holistic nutrition. Give it a moment to load all the pages for that school. And there you go. So it did that. I have a few pages right here. I have some system pages. I have one that I created. Let's say that this is the one I want to import. So very easily, all you need to do is just click on that. And you could either import it or you can import and sync at the same time, right? So syncing, meaning that if I make any change in the initial page on the initial school, it will also be synced on this other school. So very easily done from your site builder to import a page. And again, just imagine how much time this is going to save from the process of having to do it again and again for each and every school. All right, let me move. Yes.
Elisa, if I may add something here, one of the very frequently used cases here is partners, customers who are working as partners or experts and are setting up multiple schools for their customers. Either you can call them partners or value-added resellers. So you have a full setup, you know what the LearnWorlds school needs, you can have your funnel pages, you have designed some very well converting pages, and then you are serving 50 customers and you have to go and do the same job over and over again. Here, you can just get your best converting pages or your best converting content and just copy it across every other customers. The possibilities and the time saving and the scalability for something like that is immense. So this is one of the cases that I really like, especially copying very successful pages that you have designed once and you know very well, even with an extremely powerful and flexible site builder like LearnWorlds, how difficult it is to have a great, well-looking and highly converting page. And now you can sync that across all your the schools that you're running.
Yep. And with Black Friday coming up, especially perhaps if you have a dedicated page for offers or anything like that, and you've customized it to the theme of Black Friday, that is also a great way, a great use of this option. All right, let me move over to the next case right here. So ensure personalized internal training across varied departments. So let's say that you have a company, it could be a rather large company, and you have different departments and you are in need of internal training, right? So those departments have employees that you need to train. So that is actually great because you can do exactly that. And let me show you a few more options over here. So what you can do in this case is that, again, you can create a school, and you can create multiple schools according to the department, right? It could be your customer service department, it could be your marketing, your human resources, your legal, and so on. Now, while you're cloning these, and you can clone the initial one, make sure that you're only cloning the courses that all the departments are going to need, right? Because obviously, if there's a course specific to customer service, the marketing team will really not have any use of that. So such courses could be perhaps if you have an onboarding course that all of your new employees have to go through that, right? Then that is definitely a course that you would want to clone while you're cloning the initial school. So yeah, internal training, you can clone and create multiple schools depending on the department of your company, and only just choose to clone the courses that all the departments are going to benefit from. And then, of course, you can go in on any of the courses, on any of the schools that you created, and add the additional courses that each department is going to need. Next up, in the next use case scenario, optimize your learning delivery across multiple schools. Okay, so again, in this scenario, let's assume that once more you have multiple schools, each catering to different student groups, and now you may be delivering live sessions, perhaps as part of your training program, or maybe just hosting a live event that you just want everybody to attend, regardless of what school they're enrolled in. Perhaps it could be an online, I don't know, Christmas party of some sorts, or whatever it may be, right? It could be just a live event that you want all of the students to attend. So how can you do that? Do you have to go in manually and add in the live session on each course or on each school, the same one? No, again, there's an option for you to do that. So what you can do is that you can import an activity. So we've seen courses, you can import courses. We've seen importing pages, but can you import a specific learning activity? Absolutely, yes. And of course, this doesn't only stand for live sessions. It could be really any activity that you've spent import time and effort to create, right? You can import it to any course, to any school like so. So I'm going to show you again from inside the platform, because I feel like the platform speaks for itself. So I'm going to do just that. And in order to do that, all you need to do is just head over to your dashboard and navigate over to the courses. Find the course you want to add it in. Let's say I want to add it over here. And the section, let's say I want to add it over here, and just click on import activity right here. Then select where you're importing from, if it's from a different school. I think I'm going to import from the same school, but just a different course. So let me find that right here. And I think I have one over here. Yeah. So see, I have this other course, Holistic Wellness Coaching. You can see it right at the top. Now I'm on this one. And that course has my live session. It has the one that I want everybody to get on. And I can simply just click this button right here. I can sync it. Just activate it over here and click to import. And what that is going to do is that it's going to add this live session, this activity, into my course. You can see it added it right here, just with a click of a button, right? Again, can you imagine just how much of a time saver this could be? Again, not only with live sessions, it could be really any activity. It could be even a bunch of activities too, right? Ebooks especially take some time to create, maybe a little less now with the AI tool, but you get the point. And yeah, so of course, like so, you could go to any other course or any other school and just import an activity like so. All right, let me go back into my presentation. And let me go over to the next slide over here. And for my colleague Brett, if you'd like to take over here.
Of course. So one of the biggest advantages of being able to separate your schools and manage multiple schools from a single dashboard really does come down to the data that is being pulled, or the analytics that is being pulled into each separate school. So by utilizing multiple schools, we can actually cut through a lot of the noise and make more informed decisions using school-specific dashboards. It actually allows us to tailor our strategy to each diverse customer within our school versus piling all that information together and trying to figure out from that information which each user belongs to. So in our first example, we're looking at a school that offers training programs for company employees, partners, and customers at the exact same time. Now you can imagine the amount of data that would be in that school and unseparated. So the issue we're really facing here is that all that data is combined, and it's very difficult for us to pick out and choose that data for each specific target audience. So by deploying multiple schools, we're actually able to separate that audience into 3 separate schools and make it easier for us to make those data-driven decisions. In fact, if we're going to move on to the next slide here, you can see how you can actually do this, and you can actually navigate and clone your school. You can customize the domain, right, for each of those schools. So we would have our partners domain, we would have our customers domain, we'd have our employees domain. And then we'd only select and clone the courses that we really need to clone between those schools. We don't have to clone everything. We can choose the specific courses that might overlap between those schools. We could sync them, we could clone them. We could also create department-specific content for each of those schools later on, and that content won't get mixed with the other school's content. So it really allows us to manage each of those users' progress also through our advanced report center, which is what you see here. Okay. Next slide. So another way, or I should say lastly, let's kind of take a look at how we can actually boost our brand's exposure and amplify our marketing impact using multiple schools. So on the next slide, you'll see another example that we've put together here. In our last scenario, I want to present to you a culinary school. And this school provides various courses designed for specific audiences. What do I mean by that? Well, we might have an example of, we have baking courses, we have holistic nutrition courses, we have plant-based cooking and culinary arts. Those users may not necessarily mesh. They might be looking for each of those separate pieces or courses within our school. So how are we as a school able to properly communicate the value of each of those programs and tailor the positioning in our school to resonate with each of those groups? We can't really, unless we really jump over a bunch of different hurdles. So again, separating that, taking all those groups and separating those into separate schools allows us to create a separate school that is going to have push separate marketing campaigns and course offerings to each of those specific user groups. So it really does allow us to tailor the marketing and the campaigns that we're putting together for each of those groups. And you'll see on the last slide here, you'll see exactly what I mean here. We have a bunch of different courses available for specific groups. So if I land on the landing page and I'm interested in baking, I just want to see the baking courses. I want to see messaging about upcoming baking classes. I'm not really interested in plant-based. So again, this really just allows us to target each of those groups as opposed to kind of trying to pile them all in one bucket. I think Panos, I think it's back to you.
Yes, I can take it over, Brett. It's if you can go a bit to the previous slide, to the one before, just to really. I guess wrap up and try to understand what we saw here today. We have provided immense flexibility within a school. So already within the school, there is lots of functionality using tags and using user groups and using the custom landing pages and using the customization in every one of those landing pages. You can emulate lots of those cases within a single school. It won't have the branding. We will have mixed analytics. Everybody will be on the same tenant, on the same landing page, on the same database. More or less the experience will be similar. You will have one domain. So you can do that. But that's not the way to grow. That's not the way to expand. That's not the way to diversify. So I understand, and everybody here knows that the multiple schools is not for everyone. If you're just starting out, you may be able to do lots of the heavy lifting by going deep within your single school instance. There you have lots of extremely powerful features that allow you to emulate those things. What we're sharing now is how you can expand, how instead of depth first, let's say within your school and try to squeeze all the different customers and all the different business models and all the different use cases under a single account. With the multiple school, we're opening up horizons. We enable more business models and will allow you to go wide and wild and breadth first. And this is where you can start thinking about expanding to different geographies, different types of customers, different segments, different audiences, different demographics, different currencies, and everything else that we have mentioned here. So yes, everything is still accessible within a LearnWorlds school. I'm sure that there are people who are at the beginning and they are happy with that and they can support multiple customers, and we're extremely satisfied with these cases. But we also know that within our customer bases, we have businesses and agencies and partners who are growing rapidly. We have needs to spin up new schools for new use cases and for new segments and everything else at a moment's notice. And this is what this feature is about. So this is what allows you to just, because I'm also going through the questions in the chat. Yes, with a click of a button, you get a new school, you get a new domain name, which can be a totally different domain name, or customer1.mycompany.com versus customer2.mycompany.com. You can set up a different payment gateway because one is set up in US dollars and you want credit card payments. The other is set up for the Brazilian customer with a boleto payment method, which is like prevalent there, and you want the school to be in Portuguese. You can set up a different language from the ones that we already support, or you can use our Wiglot integration and get crazy with every language that you might want to do. You'd set up different taxation rules. You set up different analytics because one school might be for selling, one school might be for non-profit, as Brett mentioned before. Another school might be for children, so you want to have a different privacy policy and different settings within your community. So what we're trying to do, and what I think we were already doing in a manual way, in a scalable way, but still we managed to help some of our customers grow to dozens of accounts and dozens of schools, but now we can do it automatically. We are business models enablers. We allow you to set up any business model you can imagine around knowledge sharing, around online courses, which is like just one form of knowledge. We're talking here about, Elisa talked about live sessions and everything else that you can imagine. We've had in numerous cases in the past, customers who just came to us to do some internal training. And then after seeing some of the features and the flexibility in the platform, they were scratching their heads and said, okay, we are sitting on some great content here. We are teaching our employees internally. We are a big business. But this, instead of a cost center, this can be a profit center. Can we just set up a different school and start selling this content to smaller businesses that don't have the capacity to create all this? Or can we just start selling that to a remote location, to a different kind of workforce? Can we set up certifications on top of that? Can we create a community? So this is what it's all about. We are learning from our best customers, and believe me, some of our customers are probably amongst the best businesses globally in creating and selling and promoting online courses. So we are learning from the best. We are bringing this experience back into the platform and give you the affordances to expand your business model, to scale your business, to be able to reach a global audience 24/7, regardless of location, currency, language, or any other problem in the past, with immense scalability. And still, you can do that not by needing a team of 20 people to be cloning and setting up courses or anything else. You can do it yourself. You can just do a couple of copies, set up your domain, your payment gateway, or anything else, your analytics, your e-commerce engine, your emails, whatever, your automations. You can do that alone. You can set up your syncing, and this is fire and forget. You set it up and it works 24/7 for you as your users are getting signed up. They get the automatic emails, they're getting the onboarding emails, they get their quizzes, they get their assignments, they get their certifications. So it's extremely flexible. It's like having an entire team of people creating schools for you, syncing the schools for you, And you can imagine that if you combine the automations with the AI assistants, with the multiple schools, we're talking about a 2-3 people team who can run perhaps 50 and 100 schools for your customers, for your partners, for your agents, or for anything else. So this is, for us, this is really, we are unlocking a next level of potential for our customers. I know that this might sound a bit presumptuous, but we have been doing this manually for customers who are growing, and it was a pain for us, and it was a pain for them. So what we want to do now, and if we can just go to the next the 2 slides after that, we're extremely proud of that. We believe that we can unlock huge growth potential in your business as well. This is why we also want to make this as accessible as possible, and we're taking advantage of the obviously Black Friday occasion, and offer you a discount of up to 39% if you go for the full new school and along with the mobile application. So this is something else that we, on top of everything we forgot to mention, is that each one of these schools can also have its own mobile application. So go crazy. I just want to be clear that this is for as many new schools as you want to do, but this is for new customers only and for new schools. So this can apply, sorry, for new schools. So this is an offer that doesn't apply to your existing school. We have already added in the past few months so much new functionality on your existing subscription and your existing school. It would be suicidal for us as a business to offer this discount to existing schools. But go crazy. Think about the opportunity of launching a separate school, the things that you already always wanted to do: reach a different country, reach a different audience, reach a different language, reach a different demographic, set up a different business model. Now it's the time to just spend a bit more, invest in the potential growth of your business with a new school. You might not be able to take advantage of it today or the next week, although I'm very confident that with the features we offer, you will be able to have you can have multiple schools running by the end of the year. This is the best offer of the year. You won't find a bigger discount anytime soon, until probably next Black Friday. So think about the potential. What are the possibilities that are being unlocked for you? The offer at that level, at the 39%, is available just for a few more hours until midnight Pacific time. So probably around 12 more hours, if I'm not mistaken. Then the discount will be slightly a few percentage points smaller, still extremely good. But think about it, grasp the opportunity. We will continue as ever to getting better every single day, adding more automations, more features that empower you as a creator, as a course seller, as an e-learning business or training business operator, to operate at the full extent of your capacity, to create the best possible online courses and share them or sell them as far and as wide as possible. And this effectively multiple school, multi-tenancy feature is available for you today. So this is something that you probably find in learning management systems that cost a few dozen thousand of euro or dollars per month, and you can have it now at extreme low subscription. So this is a business model enabler. I would like to thank Elisa and Brett again for doing an amazing job in showcasing what is possible. These are things that we are learning from our customers every day and are extremely proud to be able to share with you. Get ideas, go out there and implement those ideas. We'll try to make the platform as accessible to you as possible and as useful to you and your business as possible. So thank you again for being with us today. I hope you get some great ideas from us. Thanks to Cosmas for supporting us on this on the chat. A few dozen questions have been fielded, and also thanks to Dora and to Joe for preparing everything for today's presentation. Brett and Elisa, always a pleasure. Bye everyone, stay safe.